All right, welcome back to Two Song Podcast. This is Chris.
And this is Cam.
And this is a show where we try and sort every song ever into one of two categories, either a love song
Or a fight song.
That's right. And this is episode 101 of our show.
Yeah, it is. That's crazy.
It is really crazy. And you probably noticed, if you're watching this, that it's on video, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's very new. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it is. And thanks for sticking with us for 100 episodes. If you're not new and you've been here a while, that means so much to us. And we're glad we made it this far, for real.
Yeah, seriously. It's been a lot of fun. And we mentioned that we were going to kind of change things up and try some new stuff. So here we are.
Yeah, that's right. I remember you saying that a few episodes ago, and that was a perfect time to allude to it without mentioning exactly what it was.
Yeah. So, surprise.
Yeah, surprise. So that first little bit of that song you heard, we kind of picked it for a reason. It was like a tongue-in-cheek thing that makes us laugh, and hopefully people find it interesting. Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles was what exactly? The very first song, like the very first music video ever on MTV. Think about all the songs that like made MTV, or MTV made certain songs and certain groups. But for whatever reason, this song was the very first music video. Like whenever, I don't know exactly how TV works, but whenever they press like make this a station, the first music video was this music video for this song.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you meant like that or the album that it's on. Which, by the way, it came out in 79 or 80 on, as far as I can tell, the only Buggles album, just The Age of Plastic.
Yeah. I was researching a little bit, and it's like essentially one guy, and then he teamed up with a couple other musicians, and then they kept the name and he left. And I guess at that point, they were like, and let's don't do any more albums, which is a shame.
Yeah, dang. And I'm not really familiar with the rest of the album, but
Me either.
This was Chris's pick, and I think that's a good one. It's very appropriate, obviously.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, how about that intro? I can't imagine. I mean, because I've seen the video, and the video is worth a watch, but I can't imagine staying tuned in. I know it's not nice to say, but it's pretty basic and simple, and to me, coupled with the images from the video, it's like. But again, I guess I wasn't too much on. I mean, I'm kind of biased and I compared it to today's standards where you should be like next, but or like streaming, like turn this off, turn on streaming. But I don't know. I wouldn't call the intro catchy necessarily.
No, it's almost ambient.
Oh yeah, it is ambient.
And I think kind of like ethereal too. Like it just kind of keeps lifting, and it's really like sparkly. Yeah.
No, that's a good way to put it. And kind of short too. That part I do get. The fact that it's from a big video and like a synth pop kind of group, and I assume a radio hit. It's like, yeah, we don't need a ton of intro bogging us down.
Yeah. And I think it was a great point to kind of mention that you're comparing it to modern standards of like, what a good and interesting intro and music video is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's easy to do. I think a lot of people do that with a lot of different things. So yeah. Sweet. Well, should we jump in and hear the first verse?
Yeah, I think we should.
Cool. Do you have the same borderline flashbacks to Christmas Day from this song?
I do, yeah. Good. I've been trying to remember if it was it's like my first experience with Just Dance. Is that correct?
But I think this may have been the original before Just Dance. I think it was DDR. Wasn't it?
Whoa, Dance Revolution?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because there's like a mat and everything.
There was a mat, oh yeah.
Which is based on the arcade game?
Yep.
Or maybe the other way around, I don't know.
No, I think it was an arcade game first, and people are like, wouldn't you love to torture your family, especially your boy cousins, with this?
Yeah.
In your home? And they're like, yeah, put it on the same thing Twister's made of, and have people stomp around on it.
Yeah, wow. And I think we did this one so many times for some reason.
Well, if I remember right, the version that came to our house on Christmas Day with our cousins was like you had to progress. Like they were playing it on story mode or levels or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think you had to unlock certain songs. And then I think like a lot of games like that, they don't give you many fun choices up front.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, all right, we need to unlock other better songs, but also this is the only one some people even like and / can't tolerate.
Yeah, yeah. Was Girls Just Want to Have Fun on there too?
Yes, big time.
Wow.
Yeah, this song's not a Christmas song, but to me it kind of is.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be.
No, and that was probably what, like 2010 or something?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man. So, but it stuck with me. Like something about his voice, I love how his voice is all affected and garbled and staticky. But when I hear it, again, it's like a Christmas song to me, and it should not be.
No. But I think it's so cool that like an ordinary or very like secular, regular, non-seasonal song can kind of become that because of just like a memory like that.
Yeah.
And it's cool that he's talking about like new technology, kind of taking over and like making older stuff irrelevant because we were, like you said, playing on, I don't know, like a Wii U or something on a mat, and like now there's a Nintendo Switch and you just like hold the remote and do like all the same stuff and more.
Yeah, you really do, yeah.
Yeah, some versions probably have this song too, I don't know.
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting to see. We have a couple of Just Dances, and I haven't run across this song, but the others, there's got to be. I mean,
yeah, there's so many of them.
Yes, and it's not like I don't think it's gone up in popularity. I mean, we'll do our part, but I don't know that it's gotten more expensive the further away from 1979, 1980.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what? I'll say this. I don't know if you get this reference if you're into Tim and Eric at all.
A little bit.
Okay, but John C. Reilly's character, Dr. Brule,
Oh yeah.
on that show. Dude, if you watch this video, I feel bad, but the songwriter, the lead singer, and the guy that ends up rocking the bass really hard near the end of this video, to me looks like Dr. Steve Brule.
Oh goodness.
It's such a shame. It's unfortunate. I bet you in, acid rock, nerd pop, synth pop cultures, he was like a cool guy.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
But his whole style, the glasses, the hair, even some of the mannerisms, is big time like a what we would call a parody, or what we would call it campy, but they are playing it fairly straight up.
Yeah, because Dr. Brule, Dr. Brule is probably trying to channel some of that era, like the like video effects that are applied to those sketches are kind of retro and feel very 80s.
Yes, yeah.
I kind of feel like Talking Heads was kind of like a predecessor to this era of like synth pop.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like out there, almost like robotic movement and like
and robotic singing and pronunciation too.
Yes, yeah, there we go. Absolutely.
Because like you can sing, in my opinion, symphony so many ways, but the way he chooses to sing it is really distinct.
Yeah.
And robotic, and like he just like bumps every syllable a little bit harder than I think a lot of singers would.
Yeah.
But that part gets stuck in my head. That part from the first verse, like they took credit for your second symphony.
Mm-hmm.
Like anytime I try and think those lyrics, I can just hear it in his voice, even if I don't want to.
Yeah, which I think kind of speaks to the creation of that phrase, and like picking second symphony probably just because of the alliteration and the way that it kind of sticks in your head. So just a little earworm.
Yeah, definitely. That's got to be why. Because I'm trying to think and look up. Even I found myself not being able to fully put it together who this song was about, and it turns out it's no one person. It's just an idea of modern media taking over for old methods of enjoying music or creating art, which is awesome that it was the first music video on MTV ever. And the chorus we're gonna get to like says what it says, but at first I was thinking it was about Elvis, just because it's like you were the star and I met your children, like they're kind of like what's up with them, and we're in an abandoned studio. Thought about Graceland.
Oh yeah.
Where you can go and tour Elvis's old house, but then some of the stuff in the first verse makes me think it's just like a smattering, just like grabbing this detail and that detail and putting it all together to make, like I said, this whole main idea of, music is changing and media is changing.
Yeah, cool. Sounds like exactly what it is. And like you were saying, maybe you are onto something with the Elvis thing.
Maybe like it originated there, because I think he was definitely gone by this time, by the late 70s, early 80s. I think he passed away in the mid 70s, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
So it very well could have started off like, I have this idea about Elvis, and then like kind of like American Pie, like that song is just about a whole bunch of stuff, but there are little references here and there. So maybe that's like maybe the song kind of got away from the songwriter.
Oh yeah.
I think that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I think what most people know is this chorus. Should we play this chorus?
Yeah, and there's a little bit of pre-chorus, but I think we'll just play through that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Get to the chorus.
I think the majority of people know that part, like the video "Kill the Radio Star."
Yeah, I'd be a little weirded out to meet someone that hadn't never heard of that.
Mm-hmm. Same, because it's one of those things, and I'll say this has always been a subgenre, but I feel like running rampant right now, of like it's so annoying it goes back around the other way and becomes catchy again. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of music that has been chopped up into TikTok sounds is like that. I feel like a lot of I would even say like Tekashi 6ix9ine or people that are comfortable being kind of a troll, like their music is like that. You're just like, dude, that music sucks, and you hear it a couple times, you're like, it's alright. I kind of like the way he says that one part or whatever.
Yeah.
And the way she sings it to me is like, I don't typically gravitate toward this kind of music, but it works with everything else that's going on, and it to me is repetitive enough to be like, okay, it's stuck in my head now. As much as I didn't want it to be, it's stuck in my head.
Yeah, it is undeniably catchy and kind of annoying, I think is what you're trying to get at in a polite way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And sometimes that just does work, though. I mean, this song obviously had a huge success, and there's a song in the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. I think it's the first one, Cherry Bomb.
Yep.
It's just like screeching and super annoying.
Yeah.
But like, I like that song.
Yeah, I like it. I like the stutter before like the final like Cherry Bomb is like sung.
Oh yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Another thing that makes me think of Talking Heads, I think, is the bass line.
Yes.
Especially kind of moving from that pre-chorus into the chorus. It's like really kind of grooving and like I don't know, doing some hammer-ons or something, but it's also like really muddy and like loud.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Talking Heads did a lot of that.
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad you said that. The music is just a synth player, and then just a guy with a bass turned so far up. I mean, I love the good bass sound, but it's like all bass. And I was talking about this earlier. If you go and watch the video, the lead singer eventually one of the other characters is like the bass just comes his way. He gets the bass and he just starts rocking out, which is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love to see the lead singer playing bass, but it's like the lead singer's already the lead singer, and you put him in charge of how loud his instrument was. That's usually not a good recipe.
Yeah.
But it sounds cool because there's not much else. Like there's so much room for the bass, you may as well. And I'm like you. I like the way it ramps up at this part.
Yeah, me too. That is a good point, though. Like, I don't know if the lead singer needs that much more attention.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to say. Because he has that distinct voice and that distinct way of singing, and like we were saying at the beginning, like, and never to be heard from again after this one album. So I don't know where he got this kind of one-hit wonder, and I just don't know like that being the lead singer plus being like the main instrument. I don't know. Usually that's reserved for like a singer-songwriter.
Yeah, that's like it's like their project.
Yeah. Exactly.
And maybe this is kind of, I think you said it is mostly his thing, and he kind of brought in some people for this song and some other stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, so maybe he just had creative control too. Like maybe he was in the industry somehow, or I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think so. One of the articles I was reading kind of said something to that effect. Like he was a songwriter and a producer,
Cool.
and it just became and I think that was pretty common in the 80s. Like Toto was all studio musicians.
Yeah.
And they look like it too. If you ever like see their music videos,
Yeah.
like who let you guys in front of the camera? But they had the talent, and it was just a different time, you know.
Yeah, that's funny. We were talking about John Mayer kind of touring with people like that. I think you can tell aren't used to touring and being seen much.
Yeah, definitely.
And I kind of just want to revisit what you were saying about TikTok, because TikTok is just like a new technology, which this song is about, and kind of new technology making older stuff irrelevant. And it just was interesting that you mentioned TikTok, but I could actually see this being used as like a sound on TikTok too, for some trend, you know, God knows what. But
yeah, I wonder if it has. I mean, I don't think I've seen it as like a big trend.
Yeah.
But I wonder if we could find it on TikTok. Like, if you search this sound, it would pop up.
Yeah, and if it's not, it's about to be.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Dang.
Nice. Well, you want to get to verse 2?
Yeah. So for verse 2. Dude, I know we always find a way to say this, but that's my favorite verse. It's just a thing. It's like no one asks us to tell each other that. We just do that.
Yeah, no. And we started doing that pretty early on, and I don't think we do it for every song. I guess sometimes they just don't have a standout verse.
No, you're right.
Yeah. But you did allude to this one earlier, kind of trying to talk about what the song might be about, and it is cool. It's more of like an image for me than the first verse.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I know. Because I don't get all the references from the first verse. And I guess, to be totally fair, I don't get all the references in the second. But yeah, it to me, like, paints the picture a little bit better. And I think that the lyrics in the second verse are just easier to, like, grab a hold of and remember, maybe. But then also, it could just be that it's short. Like, it's noticeably shorter.
Yeah, like kind of half the length of the first verse.
Yeah. I think it's cool though to me also like the mention of jingles, like you wrote the jingles, because I like to think about like advertisements and music videos. If people are into music videos, know that they're really just an advertisement for the song, and they kind of became their own industry eventually. But it was like, watch this video, get excited about this artist or this album or both, or maybe even a single. Like if the artist doesn't survive the industry, like at least they had a great single on MTV.
Yeah.
But also I think about like real talented artists being like, yeah, but I have to pay bills, and making jingles like just to get by.
Yeah. It's makes me think of like actors doing commercials.
I was gonna say directors doing commercials. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. It's kind of like selling out almost, like we're doing by coming to YouTube.
Yeah. But that's part of it, I think, for a lot of creatives.
Yeah. If you kind of designate all your time into what you're creating and your art, then, like you said, you gotta pay the bills somehow.
Yeah.
I like how he mentions that it seems so long ago, even though I think he's talking about like a song that he wrote, it seems.
Yeah, I thought that too.
That's kind of cool. So we've had, at least one like career musician, singer-songwriter on the podcast that talks about like how old songs can kind of be like a snapshot of that time and like kind of take you back. And we've talked about at length probably how just songs that we like take us back to memories. I mean, we started this episode with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm glad you said that. I was going to remind everyone of that too, but yeah. I know. That's interesting because like there's by now this song is old. This song is so long ago, but there's some talk like the 50s in the first verse.
Yeah.
And then in this verse, it doesn't really give a specific time that was so long ago. But you're right. I think it is that being like, maybe even related to the idea we were just talking about, like now that I've sold out, I am sold out, or I realize like the end is near for a hit maker, songwriter. Like at least I have some of this nostalgia for the real art, the real like finding the muse, the real creative pursuit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think I might be reading more into it because it's just a fun song. You know?
Yeah, and that's what we do here.
Yeah, we definitely do a ton of that. But I like to think, I mean, we also talk about how you can make a song whatever, like you can make the story up to the song.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess what little I know about this group and then this song and when it came out and that it's their biggest hit, their only hit, I guess makes as much sense to me as anything else.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Nice. Well, we have only had the chorus once, and to a lot of people, I think I'm one of them, it's like the part.
Yeah.
So should we play this chorus again?
Yeah, we'll get another chorus, and then we kind of lose sense of the structure of the song, I think. But
yeah, that's safe to say.
we do know we have one more chorus now.
So yeah, after that chorus, there's like kind of a jammy bridge part.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I wish I knew more about like who wrote what parts, or in the video there's just a guy playing into like the whole robotic, weird, like evil music scientist thing. There's a guy that barely moves and doesn't blink or do anything except play this one synthesizer expertly. I mean, just and then he does the same way. He's playing two synthesizers in this rig that are arm's length apart. So he has one. He's not looking at either of them. He's just looking. He's like straight down the lens of the camera, and really stoic and emotionless, playing with his left hand one synthesizer and his right hand the other synthesizer. And it's just like
It's freaky.
And then if you hear it too while it's happening, you're just like, I found myself looking back and forth like, yeah, but it's not that. I mean, whatever. I'm no keyboard player, but it's like you don't have to be doing all that. It just sounds like a keyboard part. So.
Wow, could it have been just for the video? Like just like somebody was like, it'd be funny if they're weirdly far apart.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain.
Wow.
Because you see synth and keyboard players performing that want different sounds, different patches, so they will have multiple keyboards.
Yeah.
Nothing against that, but it's a kind of a weird, minimalist, sparse, like dystopian setup in this video and set. Mm-hmm. And this guy has like a keyboard rig, a full blown keyboard rig. So,
wow. I can't help but think about the old saying when I hear this song of like oh he's got a great face for radio.
Yeah.
When I hear this song.
Yeah.
And you know I can't help as we're starting video to wonder if that's us, but I don't think it is.
I think that too, but but video is like filled with all kinds of people. There's every kind of person in the world, yeah. And all of them want to be stars, and all of them film themselves.
Very
so
true. Yeah,
I think we'll be fine. But I totally agree with you. I think about that. I think about the way TV in courtrooms and TV in politics has changed our world forever. Like there's an infamous story in history about one president or presidential candidate was more comfortable in radio, and another presidential candidate was like, well, they got this new like semi-portable TV camera.
Oh, yeah.
I say we televise the debates and put them on radio. And supposedly it's because JFK was so nice and easy to look at and wore makeup. Part of the reason that he beat Richard Nixon to be president when he was elected.
Yeah.
And I think that plays into this song a little bit, is like it's not enough anymore to just be good and just sound good, just write cool songs or fun songs or poignant songs.
Yeah, or like, eloquent speeches.
Oh yeah, or eloquent speeches, because it was a perfect what I'm about to say. Now you have to be hot. Like, so
yeah,
it's interesting to be like, we had so many people that were able to carve out a living for themselves and a fan base, and then now it's a new media or several new media, so that you got to be hot. It has to be a whole experience, not just audio, visual too.
Wow. Yeah. That's so cool because it really does play into this whole story of this song.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, to say that it killed is like a very violent choice of words.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you kind of would like to think he's just talking about killed the career of the radio star.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
I know, because you could almost read it as like killed the will to keep making music, or killed the spirit, or killed the like the drive or the fire of the radio star.
Wow, maybe that's why he stopped making music after this.
Man,
maybe he's the radio star.
Interesting. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I feel that he is, but it's to me such an interesting choice to have the female singer sing that part.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah, because we'll get to it in a minute here, but it starts kind of layering "Video Killed the Radio Star" with "You're the Radio Star," which you would think is to like the listener, but maybe it's not. Maybe he wrote this song to himself.
That happens.
Yeah,
it definitely happens. Whoa. Should we hear that part now? I kind of want to get to that.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Cool. Well, to like bring it to another kind of dated reference and another like, it's honestly it's awesome for the time, but it's silly now. To be like, so much is changing. There's like, there's all these digital things and machines taking over, like the VCR. You know, I just think again, there's gonna be things in the future that people can be like, can you believe that? Can you believe they had this stuff we don't even know about? So I like the reference. I just think it is funny to be like, oh my gosh, there's the channels are in the 30s now. That's so many channels. They got one that's just music all day, and then he's like, the VCR is replacing stuff. Like, what are we gonna do? Man. This was and wasn't a long time ago. Like, for one person's lifetime, this was a long time ago when this song came out, but in the grand scheme of like history, it isn't. But it feels like a long time ago. The stuff in this song feels old.
Yeah, seriously, because now we're like, I mean, not you and I, but the world at large is in the business of like creating technologies almost with the purpose of them being replaced by some other technology shortly.
Yeah. Wow, you're right. It does seem that way. Jeez.
Because, I mean, specifically talking about like recorded film, we went into DVDs and then Blu-ray, and Blu-rays aren't really a thing anymore. Just like, I don't know what's going to be next, and how are we going to keep coming up with names for all of it.
Yeah, gosh, I know. Man. Yeah, earlier when I said the second verse was my favorite, I'd kind of forgotten about this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did.
Which just makes me feel like that solidifies the second verse as my favorite.
Yeah.
But the third verse is pretty good too. I mean, it's short, it's nice, it doesn't like get too avant-garde. In the context of the song, it's already pretty out there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's also kind of like playing with the words a little bit, talking about like you can't rewind, we've gone too far, and then mentioning the VCR, which also rhymes. So it's some fun stuff.
Yeah. I do like that part. And then the VCR is not like silly or a corny reference that, at least it rhymes. Then, like when the song was new. Like, I don't think it's unreasonable to say that not everybody had a VCR in 1979/1980.
Yeah.
Like, I remember period pieces from set in the mid-80s that VCRs are like a rich person electronic.
Yeah, a luxury.
Yeah. Man, that's cool to think about, like, just a critique of media and then compare like history or the human experience to a film. I don't know, just one more like reference to like symphonies and and musical collections and film. To like kind of tack that on at the end is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that is, and that probably just kind of speaks to like his involvement in that industry or those industries or the industry of media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice. Well, now you want to get to the overlapping part.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably just play it out through the outro.
Yeah, let's do that. Cool. We have another song that fades out.
Yeah, the slow fade.
The slow fade, yeah.
And we've kind of talked about it being an 80s thing. And here we are. The beginning of the 80s.
Yeah.
The perfect example.
But what else do we always call it? We always make fun of how it is such a radio device.
Oh, yeah.
DJs can like listen to themselves talk and their important voices, or you can crossfade another song in.
Yeah.
But the music video just kind of like, if I remember right, it kind of fades out too. The versions of it I've seen, it's just like, again, early music video, they're just like,
they all just like standing there.
Yeah, they're like, hey, what's the song sound like? And they're like, it kind of like turns down, like, nice, that's nice fade to black. But I think it works for the song, because the song's not super long, at least the video and radio version aren't super long. And I like that it fades out, and I like that we just get like video kill the radio star over and over again.
Yeah, and I can't remember the video. I should have watched it in preparation, but I didn't. Does he get like handed the bass kind of right at this outro part where it just starts with the video killed the radio star over and over again? Because I can hear the bass come in.
Yeah.
And it's not as much of a riff as it was earlier. Like it's not really as interesting. It's just like chugging along.
Yeah, it gets real like rock or like punk rock even.
Yeah.
I also like how his vocals are really strong. Like when he's doing the "You Are," the radio star. It's just like a good like climax to the song. A good way to end it and have it be like really on a high point.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more like easy on the ears than earlier parts.
I think so too. I think that's fair to say. Yeah, and I was listening to it because they say it and sing it so much. Like the way, there's some quality about the hook, the video killed the radio star, that's like a little like sad or a little bit like mournful to me. It's hard to explain. I think if people go back and listen to it with that in mind, they'll be like, oh yeah, I can kind of hear that. It almost sounds like someone whining or someone like crying while they're singing. I think that's like the kind of sense that I get.
Yeah, and at the very end, the last part of those repetitions, like I mentioned earlier, where there's two parts that are overlapping, two lines of lyrics, the "You Are" is like really kind of drawn out and whining.
Yeah, it is. It really is, yeah. It's kind of like an over-the-top, like schmaltzy, like somebody trying to serenade someone, or somebody that's like, tonight in the restaurant we have this person that's going to be singing, and everybody's like, oh, or half the people are like, oh man, nah, no thank you. Some people are probably into it. There's always like that one person. It's like, oh, I love anytime there's live music. It's like, even if it's not good, it's like, yeah, it's always,
something to look at.
Yeah, that's But it is, I think that's kind of what it sounds like. It's like real, like mournful in a different way. Like they're doing theirs fast, and he like does his slow and legato. But overall, fun song. Like I like this song, and I think it's quirky, and there's no other song quite like it.
Yeah, very true. I think kind of in contrast to the last 10 songs that we've done, it wasn't the best one to listen to on repeat. In preparation.
Yes, I certainly agree with that.
Yeah. We've been doing, we did 10 songs that we never get tired of, if you're new here. And not exactly saying that I'm tired of this song.
But you're close. But you're like almost tired of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's the parts of it are more grating than others, and then like even the best parts. It's just everybody's different, and this just happens to be not a song that we never get tired of.
Right. Yeah.
It's a double negative. I did it on purpose. Not a song we never tire of. It, we could. I mean, it's different for both of us. We could reach a point where we're like, okay, I don't think I need to hear that song ever again.
Yeah, and for someone, it could be the song that they never get tired of.
True.
Maybe if they were, just at a like particularly happy point in their life in 1980.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Big VH1 fan or something.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. Well, how about I go first since it was my pick?
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Nice, good idea. Man, I struggle with this one, and I say that a lot, but I haven't said that in a while.
That's true.
But
he hasn't.
This one is like fun and campy and silly, but it also doesn't really drive that fast, except for in certain sections. But by today's standards, it's not like a super fast song. It's not like a real, like, to me, a party song. And some of the lyrics are so nostalgic and reminiscent. And even though we talked about we couldn't exactly pin down another second character for this song, it's a little too abstract for that. So that you are the radio star at the end, for example, Cam thought maybe that was a song to the narrator, like switching which person, first person or second person.
Oh yeah.
Within the same character, for lack of a better word.
Right.
And that's like tricky, but it could technically be done. Especially this song is so weird compared to other music, especially pop music.
Yeah.
It's hard to put it in any one box. I think the fact that there's not really very much heavy percussion, the fact that the backup singers have this one little part that to me, like I said earlier, sounds kind of like a little bit like a bratty child whining.
Mm-hmm.
The way the lead singer's performance is specific, like a lot of inside references, and at the very end, this like really soaring kind of melody. I think although there's like fun parts and weird eccentric musical choices, I think overall, I gotta say, love song.
Cool. I think kind of pointing out the lack of driving percussion is a great argument for that, and also the nostalgia is a big it's big evidence for that. Maybe like as if it's a love song to the radio star or to like the previous era, almost like a memoriam, since he's saying that the radio star's been killed. So it's like an appreciation of that and like a mourning kind of at the same time, but not in like an angry way necessarily. In fact, I don't really pick up on anger from the performance of the vocals or any of the instruments. So I have to agree with you. I have to say love song.
Nice, cool. But this one is a tricky one, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not really what we consider a typical love song, like a typical ballad pouring your heart out, or like a certain like sound or tone on the piano or an acoustic guitar or whatever. But it's like, what's it fighting against? We can't really like find what it would be fighting against if it were, hypothetically.
Yeah, because even if it is kind of resistant to new technologies at all, and a little bit upset that like the radio star is being killed, it would be kind of crazy to think of it as a fight song for like VH1 or music videos as a new medium, or kind of film and televised images kind of replacing radio. That would be so ironic, since it became like kind of an icon of the early art for that medium.
I know. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's kind of tricky. But yeah, you're right.
Wow.
Dang. Cool.
Nice.
Well, thank y'all. I hope you enjoyed that. We definitely enjoyed changing it up. It's exciting to be like, all right, this is what we've been doing
Yeah.
for a few years now, 100 episodes, and then to be like, let's see if we can like elevate it at all. See if we can do something different with it.
Try something new and learn how to do some new stuff. And we hope that y'all can enjoy it and y'all appreciate it. And maybe we can find some new people to talk to us about music and interact with us. That would make all of this worth it, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely. So comment below if you think we got it wrong, or if you never heard of this song, or
that'd be awesome.
I'll tell you what, every video I see about music, regardless of if it's a music video, a music review list, anything to do with music, there's someone that says they don't make music like this anymore, or I remember when I was a certain age, this song, there's always that person, and we aren't mad at it. Do that. Like, hey, I remember very clearly when I saw this music video premiere for the first time or something.
Yeah.
If that's true, if
That would
that's
be
you,
awesome.
don't just make it up. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we'll have no way to know, but
true. Yeah.
But yeah, we're very excited for that interaction, and thank y'all so much for being here for now over 100 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. It means so much to us.
Yeah, and if you're new, there's 100 episodes of this show that aren't in video format, so on Spotify and iTunes and all that good stuff. And we've probably done songs that you love or songs that you've never heard of and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. It's worth it to go back and listen to the old ones, or at least check them out. Just skim through them and just see if there's something that interests you.
Yeah, and we're kind of dumping a lot right now, but if you give us a review on iTunes and give us 5 stars and put a song in your review, then we'll do that on an episode.
Yeah, exactly. Guarantee. Cool. Well, thank y'all again, sincerely.
Yeah, and thanks to Chris. He picked this song. He's the clever one, and it's kind of a funny and I think you said tongue-in-cheek pick, and I love it so much.
Nice, dude. I'm glad. Thank you.
Yeah, man. We'll talk to you all next week.